Just sitting here talking to a couple of old mates of mine, Ian and Duncan. Duncan, how many machines are you running on the property?
Yeah, Russ, well, we're running quite a few actually. We've got a few tractors and a couple of old trucks and a few new Nissans there.
Yeah, so you're doing all right. You need a fair few machines to run a property like this one.
Yeah. It just depends on what you're doing. Like with cultivation and all that sort of stuff, you need a couple of tractors. And
yeah. Well, how do you go when they break down?
You usually ring Ian up and get Ian out from
So
town and fix them.
Ian's a bit of a handyman, is he?
Yeah.
You have any trouble with getting parts and that sort of thing?
Oh, not really. Some stuff for the tractors, like they're imported, so you've got to get your parts from America.
Yeah.
And that, but apart from that, it's usually pretty good.
So if something like this breaks down, how long is it going to take to get a part?
Oh, well, it depends what sort of part it is. They might have it in stock, they might have to import it, but you could be waiting up to 3 months.
Yep, it was great hearing firsthand about life on the land from two blokes who eat and breathe the country life.
What say we go inside and have a nice view?
Yep, no worries.
I'll leave you into it.
Yep.
It can be a pretty tough existence in the outback, especially for womenfolk when the man of the house is away mustering or playing golf.
G'day, Russell Coight.
Hi, I'm Melanie.
Lucky for this damsel in distress, I was able to stop by and lend a hand.
Russell Coight, what seems to be the problem?
It's our septic tank. It's blocked.
It's not good, is it?
No, it's not.
I've noticed you've got some excavating equipment out the back.
Yeah, would you like to use it?
Do you mind?
Are you okay with it?
I've used those machines a fair bit.
Okay, that'd be
Listen,
good.
it's fairly dirty work, so let's keep the kids out of the way.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, put the kettle on.
All right, I will.
See you later, kids.
Bye.
Nice meeting you.
Come on, girls.
What this little lady didn't realise was that I'd cut my teeth dredging flood channels in the Gulf country. And there wasn't much about excavating equipment I didn't know. In the city, a septic tank is just another word for America. But out here, it's a big job, and one I was ready to tackle. Just a question of firing up the old beast and getting on with it. Aussie Adventures.
Believe it or not, I'm driving that tractor from this app in here. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to make it stop.
They don't call us the smart country for nothing.
How good is that? I'll make it start again. Absolutely incredible. Here, satellite, down to the tractor. I'm going to make it swing around now. A little steering wheel here, little accelerator, little brake. Okay, now I'm going to bring it back to me.
Yep, in the right hands, technology is pretty amazing stuff.
And stop. Incredible, isn't it? With this app and that tractor right there, I can take all those hay bales and put them into a truck. Boom. I've dropped the boat! I've dropped the boat! Put stop on the boat! I can't get off! Oh no! The hay bale! The hay bale! Shit! Oh no!
With that job taken care of, it was time to get stuck into another one. Out here, the smallest problem can quickly turn into serious drama if you don't know what you're doing. Of course, I've had years of learning to look after myself in the bush, but there are always some folks you come across out here who could still do with a lesson or two. This bloke had no idea.
Okay, turn it off, mate. Got yourself bogged, have you? Let's see if we can't get you out.
He was stuck faster than a fly in a pot of glue. When travelling through the Aussie outback, the simple fact is you've got to come prepared or else be prepared for trouble, which is exactly what will happen if you're not prepared. You can sit and spin your wheels all day, but in the end, the only thing that'll haul you out is a decent hand winch. It's a lesson I learned back in the days when I was cutting logging tracks. It only takes half an hour of rain to turn the dry, dusty roads into boggy traps for the unsuspecting tourist. Just find yourself a sturdy tree, hook up the cable, then put your back into it. and you'll be out of there in no time. It was a long, tough drive, but eventually I hit the bright lights of Alice. With a population of 15,000 and weather to match, Alice Springs provides an ideal place to stop, refuel and recharge the batteries. I came by car, but 100 years ago the most common form of transport to the Red Centre was the steel highway, the train. That's right, the mighty gun.
Someone who knows more about the old gun than anyone I know is an old mate of mine by the name of Steve Leach. Let's see if he's in. Okay, Steve.
Hey, Russell.
Steve's had a lifelong love of trains all his life, and it was great catching up and swapping a few yarns. And of course, sharing a few laughs. Looks like some overnight storms had brought down a tree across the track. And I soon discovered I wasn't the only one going nowhere fast. This farmer was clearly in need of a helping hand.
G'day.
G'day.
Russell Coight.
John.
It's a doozy. I can see what's happened. She's come down overnight. You've come down here, tried to get around and got yourself bogged. Yeah, I think this needs a heavy artillery.
Okay.
Stay here. I'll be back in a minute.
Righto.
And by heavy artillery, I meant this. 6.5 tons of hydraulic heavy haulage, borrowed from a nearby farm.
John, I'll get you to move right out of the way, mate.
Right.
Thank you.
Luckily, I've had a bit of experience with earth-moving machinery, and I knew just how to shift that log. Guess you could call it muscle over matter. 1, 2, 3. Dawn, and as usual, I'm up before dawn getting breakfast for myself and, of course, little Hero. But a few moments later, the old UHF radio crackled into life. Turned out a mate of mine who runs a tour boat on the nearby Gibson River was in a spot of bother. With a party of tourists booked in and his only driver off sick, he needed help. Captain Coight to the rescue.
Okay.
Guiding a boatload of passengers who couldn't believe their luck that I was at the helm.
My right, your left, if you're facing the other way, you'll see a beautiful beach. Beautiful beaches like this one all throughout the area up here, in fresh water. But not as many sharks, that's for sure.
These folks couldn't get enough of my Aussie wit.
If you're facing the other way, you can see.
Not to mention my extensive knowledge of the local area.
With those pines in amongst them. Now, I know what you're saying.
This is boring.
You're saying that they're not native.
An amphibious boat like
Because
this is a top way of checking out some special sights. And these happy holiday makers were enjoying the ride of their life.
Just hang on a second.
Courtesy of Rear Admiral Russell.
Got my microphone cord here, I'll just get up.
And I tell you what, there's nothing like going off the beaten track.
Well, it's been quite a trip, hasn't it? We've seen some pretty special places and met some pretty special people. Work here on the farm goes on as usual. Okay, away you go! But I'm sure we'll find time for some action when we next meet for another All Aussie Adventure.
All Aussie Adventures, pack up your swag, let's go. All Aussie Adventures. All Aussie Adventures,